Don't adjust your settings. This is really my hair, what it looks like now. The 49ers and Chiefs are going to meet in the Super Bowl once again. And I'm going to tell you who's going to win in this episode of Box Score Breakdown. Stay tuned for more. As always, subscribe to the channel and let's get into it. I had a pretty good seat for this one. The 49ers beat the Detroit Lions 34-31. Dan Campbell, Gambling Campbell, risked it all a couple times with some fourth down decision making that had a lot of people talking on Monday morning. I made the trek to Levi's Stadium. It was a pretty cool experience, I gotta admit. Walking into the game, it was big atmosphere. A lot of cocktails, a lot of good energy. Weather was about 70 degrees, and the 49ers did not show up in the first half. They get down 24-7, and it was a little scary at times. You had Jamison Williams busting loose for a 40-yard touchdown run. Jared Goff was picking apart the Niners defense. They weren't setting the edge. Chase Young was getting called out by everyone in the bleachers and on Twitter. But somehow, someway, Brock Purdy played the best football when it mattered most in the second half, and Dan Campbell and the Lions made some risky fourth down decision making. Slowly but surely, the Niners hit big plays, and then, of course, they hit this deep ball to Brandon Ayuk, nearly picked off. He gets his hands on it 2 plays later in the end zone, and momentum had fully switched over to the 49ers. Now, Dan Campbell and the Lions is a great story, great season for them. They're definitely going to be asking themselves tough questions about their strategy. Are they always going to be going for it on fourth down, or will they show some restraint moving forward? The Lions could have kicked a couple of field goals in the second half, tied the game, potentially gone up 17 points in the third quarter, but the Niners got those stops, and it's a credit to that squad. Steve Wilkes been under fire all season. He got his team ready to play when it mattered most, made the right adjustments. That defensive line really turned up the heat on Jared Goff, and the DBs made some nice plays on the back end as well. I also want to give a shout out to the 49ers playmakers. George Kittle, Deebo Samuel, Christian McCaffrey all made plays when they had to. It seemed like everybody had their moment in the sun, and little by little the crowd got back into it, and it felt like Levi's Stadium was like Candlestick back in the day. The Niners are 6-0 at home at Levi's. They've made it into a home field advantage. Impressive atmosphere. And just leaving the game, high-fiving strangers. Lions fans were just kind of like, oh, well, happy to be here. Happy for you guys. So, credit to them. They've turned their franchise around. It's going to be hard for them to get back up on that mantle. The Niners are one of the power teams in the league, and now they go up against the Kansas City Chiefs. Admittedly, I didn't watch too much of that game. Listened on the radio, was refreshing my phone on the drive up, but had a feeling that Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, and even Taylor Swift, all the mojo they have going this year, that they too are one of those teams of destiny. And so this is an epic rematch in Super Bowl 58. It's Vegas. You have Taylor Swift. You have the 49ers momentum with Brock Purdy. I'm not going to give too much of a breakdown just yet, but I do believe it's the Niners' time. I predicted at the start of the season. You look at this team, they're built to win now, and their quarterback is doing enough. It's a little late, but it's clutch, and I think that's just so remarkable. 7th round pick, last player drafted, and here he is against Patrick Mahomes, arguably the next Tom Brady, one of the best quarterbacks of our generation, a first ballot Hall of Famer. Credit to the 49ers, 12-5, great season, 1 seed, handling business at home. It wasn't pretty, but they took on all comers, and they're ready to go. They're healthy, and they should be ready for a physical game against the Chiefs, who aren't as deep, aren't as talented on offense as they have been. If they can get pressure, if they can figure out Chase Young setting the edge in the run game and control Isaiah Pacheco on the ground, I think the Niners have the enough firepower on defense and can distribute the ball on offense and move it against this Chiefs defense. But we'll break it down a bit more, a lot of more storylines to come out, what Kyle Juszczyk's wife's going to be making clothes-wise. Is Taylor Swift going to be performing somehow, some way at the Super Bowl party if the Chiefs win or lose? All things to be considered. But for now, the Niners got it done, got back into the big dance, and I was happy to be a part of it. and be back at Levi's with the faithful. All right, stay tuned for more. Thanks for watching. As always, subscribe and take care. Bye.